So, the IMDb top 100 films. Shall we look at films 50 to 41? Roll the titles. Hi guys, it is Mr. Scotty Pie here, and I am back for another video. As I said in the intro, this is the next episode in the IMDb top 100 films, where each week I look at 10 more films in the list. I talk about my thoughts on the films, or if I haven't seen them, I'll read a bit about the description of the film and maybe learn a bit about that. At any point, if you want to talk about the film, please do drop it in the comments, and I do respond to all comments. Let's do start a conversation down there. Please hit a like and a subscribe on this video if you do enjoy what you're watching. And these videos are dropped every Tuesday, so if you do enjoy this video, please do come back next week to see more, or just hit the bell notification so you can see all the videos that I drop within the week. You haven't got to have watched any of the older episodes to enjoy this one if it's your first time, but if you do want to go back and watch them, they are all on the channel. So this is usually going to be a longer video, so let's jump straight into number 50 in the top 100 IMDb films, and that is the Alfred Hitchcock classic. By the way, if you see me looking down, my laptop's down there with the list. I'm seeing the list for the very first time, so you're going to get my genuine reactions to this list. So as I said, number 50 is Alfred Hitchcock's classic, Psycho. Obviously, if you haven't seen this film, you've definitely seen either parodies or clips from this film. Obviously the famous shower scene with the knife going through the shower to kill the main actress. I'm going to say a bit of a spoiler, but this film came out in 1960, so you know, that's 60 years ago. When did it stop being a bit of a spoiler alert? But yeah, I'm a huge Alfred Hitchcock fan. I've seen loads of his films. I think brilliant, and I think Psycho is definitely one of his best. I'm not saying he's best, not my favourite, I'll admit, but he's definitely an absolute classic. Not the first Hitchcock film on this list. We've already had Rear Window in an earlier episode, so obviously Alfred Hitchcock is getting his due respect for his legendary status. I'm assuming this won't be the last one on this list. I hope not, because there's many more there should be. But yeah, number 49, we have a film from 1968, and this is Once Upon a Time in the West. I haven't seen this film before. Obviously, it's a Western film. It's cowboys and all that kind of stuff, starring Henry Ford, Charles Bronson. So two legendary actors of that era. As I said, I've not seen this film before, so I'm just going to read through the description of the film. A mysterious stranger with a harmonica joins forces with a notorious desperado to protect a beautiful widow from a ruthless assassin working for the railroad. If you see me struggling to read these, by the way the IMDb page has done their description, they put light grey writing on white background. It's not me just struggling to read, it's me struggling to actually see the words in that really stupid way of doing the writing. But yeah, this looks like a very classic Western. I'm sure it's a great film. I've not watched many Westerns, if I'm going to be truly honest. It's never been a genre that's really jumped out at me. Maybe I should change that, and maybe I should change that with Once Upon a Time in the West. Have you seen this film? Should I jump onto this film? Is this a good jumping on point for the genre? Do let me know in the comments below. Next is a film I have not heard of again. This is called Anand. Looking at the cast listing and the crew, it does not. This isn't an English speaking film. So this is a drama / a musical. So I'm just going to jump into the storyline or the description of the film as well. This is the story of a terminally ill man who wishes to live the life to the fullest before the inevitable occurs, as told by his best friend. So it sounds very interesting. Sounds definitely, obviously, description of life and way life should be lived, I guess, by someone who doesn't have much left, because that is usually the time when you really reflect it in the most honest way, I'd assume. So it looks like quite an interesting film. It's from 1971, so it's an older film. Not one I've heard of before, but definitely one I would be interested in checking out. Have you seen it? Is number 48 on this list a right position? Do let me know in the comments below. Next we have... oh, next is a good one. Number 47 from 1985, Back to the Future. I love this film. I love the whole trilogy. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I think they're faultless. I adore these films. If you've not seen them, it's Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Michael J. Fox is a rebel teenager, and he ends up going back in time to the 60s, I believe 50s or 60s, from the 80s, where he basically has tried not to disrupt time, but obviously inevitably does, and has to fix time again so that his parents meet and fall in love, and that he exists. It's very funny. It's got action. It's got everything. It's one of those films that just has everything in it. It's everything you want from a film in this film. It's one of those films you can just enjoy again and again. It's got that rewatchable factor, which I'm assuming why it's got such a good position on this list. I can see why it's got a good position on this list. Obviously, it's not a cinema classic, I'd say. Like, it's not one of those storylines that live with you forever, but it's one of those films that, again, it's rewatchable. You can enjoy it, and you can watch it 1,000 times and enjoy it every single one of those 1,000 times. So maybe for that reason, it should have been higher on this list, in my opinion. Honestly, yeah, I believe that it should probably be higher. But that is just my opinion. What do you think? Should it be higher? Do you think lower? In the middle? By in the middle, I mean, is this the correct position? Let me know in the comments below. Number 46 is another film I've never heard of. It's from 1988. It's called Grave of the Fireflies. Pretty cool title. Looking at this, it doesn't look like it's an English language film, so that's maybe why I haven't heard of this. So let's read the description. It is a young boy and his little sister struggle to survive in Japan during World War II. So it's an action drama war film. That's the description. So obviously it's quite a dark film, quite a heavy film, I'd assume, with very important themes. Definitely one that interests me. I do enjoy a good war film and films set during the Second World War. It's an era that does interest me quite a lot. So this is a film that would interest me. Have you seen it? Is this film good? Does it live up to the position of number 46 in this list? And should it be higher than some of the films that I've already mentioned in this episode or previous? Let me know. Number 45 in this list, another film from 1988. Another film I've not heard of. It's called Cinema Paradiso. Again, doesn't look like it's an English language film. So I'm going to jump straight into the description, which is: a filmmaker recalls his childhood when falling in love with the pictures at the cinema of his home village and forms a deep friendship with the cinema's projectionist. It seems like a very classic story that you've heard over and over again. I think I've seen this genre, this style of film told a few times in the past. Maybe not done as well as this, because some of them being cheesy, some of them not great, some just for a bit of fun. But this is obviously a drama, so he's probably told the best. And 1988, maybe this is the original. I'm not sure when the ones I saw have that kind of thing, but I think this is it's a tale as old as cinema. So I think this is a classic story, and maybe this is the best it's ever been told. I've not heard of this, so maybe it's one I need to check out. What do you believe? So let's jump into number 44 on this list, which is an absolute classic again, and that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And I think everybody would agree, the best Terminator film by a long shot. Number 1 is hovering below it, but number 2, yes, please. If you've not seen the Terminator film before, Terminator 2, in the first Terminator film, you have this killer robot played by Arnold Schwarzenegger gone back to kill Sarah Connor because her son will grow up to be the leader of the resistance against the robot army that takes over the world. In Terminator 2, which is this one, Judgment Day, The same Arnold Schwarzenegger robot comes back, but this time he's had his functions changed, and now he's come back to protect John Connor, who is now a teenager, while another robot, the T-1000, is trying to kill John Connor. So it's a very much action sci-fi film. It's done brilliantly. It's directed by, I believe it is James Cameron. I knew the first one was. I was trying to think what the second one was as well. Yes, it is James Cameron. Linda Hamilton playing Sarah Connor. Obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton have recently reprised a role for the Terminator film. Came out last year, I believe. I think that's when it was. But Terminator 2 will never be topped. I know they keep making Terminator films, but they'll never reach the heights of Terminator 2, in my opinion. Number 44 on this list, probably about right. It's not going to change the world, but it's definitely a very, very enjoyable film to watch, and probably one of my favourite Arnie films of all time. It's really, really good. Next is number 43. This is one I'm actually shocked at how low it is in this. I thought it would be a lot higher. This is the Disney film The Lion King from 1994. As I said, this is such a legendary film. I remember seeing this as a little kid, growing up with this film, owning it on VHS and rewatching it again and again. So it's a film, maybe that's why I think it's high on this list, because this is a film from my childhood and a film I grew up with, so maybe I have more feelings towards this, and maybe you have more for different films I've dismissed. But in my opinion, I thought this should be a lot higher on this list, maybe in a top 20 to top 30. But 43, I'm not going to completely say it's disgusting. Like some of the films I've seen in this list are a lot lower. Like when Good Will Hunting was in the 90s, that still offends me. That's in my top 5 favourite films of all time. But yeah, The Lion King, number 43. Obviously the story of a young cub called Simba, whose father is the Lion King, is king of their realm, I would say. But when his brother Mufasa kills him, and Simba has to go on the run, and comes back many years later to try and take the throne from his evil uncle. So it's a really generic storyline, but it's done well. The animation's great, the music's great. It's just a great film. If you've got kids, or you don't even need to see for kids to watch this film, if you haven't seen it, please do me a favour and do that. Next is another film I have seen and very much enjoyed, but I've only seen once, about maybe close to 10 years ago now. It's been a long while since I've seen this film. It's one that I have been looking forward to rewatching, because it's one I do very much enjoy, and that is Leon, or usually called Leon the Professional. It's from 1994. It's an action crime drama. Leon is an assassin who ends up in the company of a young girl. Natalie Portman, is it? Natalie Portman, yeah. I was trying to think who it was. So it stars Gary Oldman as the villain, and Jean Reno is Leon, the main protagonist. He's trying to protect his little girl, who's trying to... Basically, she just loves Leon in a way that she idolises him, wants to do what he does, but he's like, oh, you don't understand how violent my life is, and then we get caught up in this story. It's really, really enjoyable. It's obviously very action and violent, but it's a very well told story. And 42 on this list, I knew it was going to be on this list somewhere. 42, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, I get that. I think that's a fair position on this list. Number 41, so we're getting this list now, is a film that I know I should have seen. I know I should have seen this film many times. I know it's an absolute classic. It's parodied all the time. It's an absolute classic. Everybody talks about this film, and I've regretfully never seen it. And that is The Usual Suspects. I know. I don't mean the pitchforks. I know I haven't seen this film. It's disgusting. This is from 1995, and because I haven't seen this film, I am going to read the description. This is a sole survivor tells the twisty events leading up to a horrific gun battle on a boat, which began when 5 criminals met at a seemingly random police lineup. So I knew about obviously the police lineup because obviously that's the big poster of the film, and there's a big twist on who done it. I know it's like a who done it kind of film. So it's crime, mystery, thriller. So So yeah, I've got no thoughts about this film, but I'm sure you do. I know you're going to list somewhere because I know obviously how much this film is ingrained in popular culture. So I'd love to know your thoughts on this film. Do you love it, hate it? Where do you think it should be on this list? Do you think it's the right position, number 41? Please do let me know in the comments. And if you have any talking points or things that you want to discuss in the comments, please do drop it in there, because I do respond to all comments. So let's do start a conversation down there. So that is this week's episode of IMDb Top 100. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop it a like and come back next Tuesday for number 40 to 31. And please do consider that subscribe button if you do enjoy this video. I also do trailer reactions, movie talk, movie news, and we just generally talk movies on this channel. If that is your sort of thing, please do consider that subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And I do hope you have a good day, or if this is the only videos you watch, I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next Tuesday, or I'll see you whenever the next video drops. Have a good day. I am Mr. Scotty Pie, and I am out of here.